Hi, Phil from Bright Fox Development. I'm doing something a little bit different today. Today I'm doing a product review. I'm doing a product review of a personality self-awareness tool called Packtypes. It looks a little bit like this. It incorporates a book and a deck of cards. I know, deck of cards, very exciting. The tool itself is quick to use, easy to understand. You can equip individuals with it, get them a pack to take away for themselves so they can use it at home, at work. It's a fantastic way of opening people's eyes to how they respond to certain situations and how others might respond to them. As part of today's, I'll be doing a little demo for you so you get to see a little bit of what it's about. I'll talk to you about how the profiles are generated. But first and foremost, I want to just talk about how Packtypes differs from a lot of the other profilers on the market. So we've all used them. We've all used Myers-Briggs type indicators. We've all used Jungian type indicators. We've all had a look at Belbin's team goals, 16PF. There's loads out there. You'll have used 1, 2, maybe even 3 or 4 of them over your career. I'm of the opinion now that Packtypes can healthily and happily replace most of those into one nice compact package that allows you to speed up that process. One of the real issues I have with most of the others is they put people in a box. They pigeonhole people, and people then find it very hard to shake that image with their colleagues. You tend to do it as a team. Team awareness is how it's pitched. And that team awareness means that, for an example of Belbin, oh, that person's a resource investigator, that person's a plant. People get stuck in those boxes. It doesn't allow, most of them don't allow for that level of flexibility that says actually situationally, different people can respond differently depending on the situation they're in. Packtypes is fantastic because actually it allows for that to happen. Packtypes is great for asking a situational type question and seeing how someone's profile differs from maybe their profile when they feel most comfortable and confident. That's a great way of looking at the gap between where people's most confident is and where people might be struggling for confidence with a particular task. It also allows us all, that person themselves, to look at actually how they incorporate some of their confidence back into that new task, what kind of things they need to incorporate and what a development might look like. It's a fantastic tool to give to people to allow them to sit down in 5-10 minutes, actually before a meeting maybe, and start to really understand why that meeting is causing them some concerns and to think about strategies that help them have the confidence they need to get through that meeting. So without any further ado, we're going to take a look at Packtypes. I'm going to show you how, I'm going to demonstrate it for you and show you how it works. So what you see before you is the contents of a Packtypes pack. A pack consists of 64 cards, and on one side of the card is a word, a positive word, and on the flip side of that card is a particular type of dog. Within the deck there are 8 dogs and 8 words for each dog. The other thing you also get in a pack is a copy of the guidebook, which we will have a quick look at now. The guidebook itself comes through and describes each of the packs in detail. For example, you can see the pointer here, and then towards the back it can demonstrate, you can see exactly what each profile might mean, and you can also record profiles that you've already created. So the Packtype guidebook itself is a fantastic resource. It allows individuals to look at their own profiles, it allows you to look at other people's profiles, team profiles. Really great resource. Comes in the pack along with a set of 64 cards. When we're doing Packtypes, we're typically going to be picking 12 cards from the pack that best describe a particular situation. So I might ask you to describe 12 cards that describe you at your best. For now, let's have a look at what one of those profiles might look like, or at least have a look at all 8 types as they lay out in the profile. So I'm just going to lay out a profile and back in a second. So what you see in front of you is the packs laid out in all 8 different types of dog. This is only 8 cards. When you're building a profile, you'll be picking 12 cards, and you might find that there are strengths in different areas of this profile, and there might even be areas where you don't have a type at all. And all of that's fine, and because it can measure situations and looks at situational analysis, you might get yourself into a position whereby in a certain situation you've got a lot of coach dog, and in another situation you have a bit of guard dog. Before we go any further, I just want to really explain what each of the types mean, what each of the types do when you're building the profiles together. At the top of the tree we have the hound. People with a lot of hound tend to be quite creative, risk takers, new ideas. They like to sort of plan and vision the future, understand what's out there. Mastiffs are communicators, master communicators. If you have a lot of Mastiff in your profile, you like talking to large groups of people, you like that ability to communicate with groups, with individuals, you like to talk and share. Beneath that, you've got the Terrier. The Terrier is industrious and busy. Someone with a lot of Terrier in their profile will like to maintain and make sure that they're busy as often as possible. At the bottom of this first axis, we have the Pointer. The Pointer concerns itself with facts and certainty. Great for data analysis, great for looking at detail, and really detail conscious down there at the bottom. Across the central axis, we start with the guard dog on this side. The guard dog is very goal orientated. They can be quite competitive, they focus on a target, they focus on a goal, and achievement of that goal is what really matters to them. On the other side of that, we have the coach dog. The coach dog is all about people and warming to people and people warming to them. Coach dogs like to have people around them, they like social situations. The more coach dog, the stronger that feeling is. And then at the bottom of the profile, we've got these two here, the retriever and the sheepdog, that just sit off each of the axes slightly. The sheepdog is control and discipline, being in charge, likes to make sure that they know what's going on and they can be in control of what's going on. And they respond pretty much like a sheepdog. Over on this side is a slightly harder to define retriever. People who've got a lot of retriever believe they do the right things for the right reasons. One of the challenges you face when you have a lot of retriever is you might find that your right thing for the right reasons might be different to somebody else's right thing for the right reasons. So retrievers can be quite complex. Someone with a lot of retriever will be doing what they believe is right more often than not. But that might not be what you want them or expect them to do. So it's worth that level of consideration. So they're the types. Let's look at creating a profile now, and I'll do a profile for myself. So what I'm first going to do is take these away, and I'm going to ask myself the question, how do I feel about myself when I'm at my most confident? And I'm going to pick 12 words that describe me at my most confident. I'm going to create that profile and we'll be back in a second. I've now narrowed down that entire pile to 12 cards that I feel are pretty strong looking at me when I'm at my most confident. Now, this doesn't mean that I can't adapt my profile. My profile will be different in different scenarios. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip all the cards and we're going to have a look at how that profile compiles. So we've got a bit of coach dog starting off, a bit of mastiff, ooh, that one flew, a bit of terrier, a bit more terrier, a bit more guard dog, bit of guard dog rather, bit of hound, bit of mastiff, bit of coach dog, bit of guard dog, bit of retriever, and a bit more terrier. So what I now need to do is put those into their groups. So I'm going to bring all the coach dogs together, all the mastiffs together, the hounds together, the retriever, I'm just going to move out of the way for now, the guard dog's going to come over here and bring these terriers together. Okay, so we're also then going to just drop those into the profile that we know is there. So that profile once again looks at that matrix across the centre of the table. We've also got some hound up at the top, a bit of mastiff there, we'll get that tidy, and a bit of retriever just there. So this is my profile, and this is how my profile, me at my most confident, looks. So, where are the strengths? We've got some terrier, 3 terrier. So it's strongly influential within this profile, but there's lots of groupings of 2. The retriever says that I'm influenced but not dominated by doing the right things for the right reasons. I like to interact with people, communicate with people, have a little bit of goal orientation, target and driven, and a bit of creativeness, a bit of ideas, maybe a hint of risk taking there as well. And if you look at this as someone who's been a trainer, a lot of this does make a lot of sense. Trainers, you're doing a lot of the work for yourself, you're delivering the training, but you're delivering through communication and people. When you're generating and creating training events, you're often thinking through that creative risk-taking, new ideas, trying to generate them. You've always got some targets in mind. You need to know that you've achieved them. And fundamentally, it's important for me to be doing the right things for the right reasons. Now we can see that there's two packs missing, or two types missing. The pointer's missing, and the pointer discusses facts and certainty. And over here we've got a sheepdog missing, which is control and discipline. So at my best, I'm mainly in this part of the profile. I'm mainly above this sort of midline. I've got a bit of retriever. I'm not going to bog myself down in data analysis and understanding the numbers. That's something that from an object and goal orientation point of view I'll do, but it's not like the critical thing that defines me at my best. I'm going to be doing some fairly industrious, getting some things done. I'm going to be driving towards goals. I'm going to be bringing people along with me through communication, and also with the hound, that's going to be generating new ideas and driving those new ideas forward. The sheepdog being missing as well suggests that at that point I'm not going to be demanding control. Actually, that's something that probably find through other people. And here we can look at actually how you strengthen, how I strengthen those working with myself. Will be to find people who have got some pointer to work with me and some sheepdog to work with me, and appreciate that they bring something to the table that allows me to be at my best. Now, it doesn't mean that I can't demonstrate pointer-like traits or sheepdog-like traits. I certainly can, and some people I've worked with will tell you that I do that a lot. However, if I want to be at my best, I want to find people to work with who balance me and who give me some of the things that I might not be at my best, so that I can be my best most often. And that's a basic Packtypes profile. There's more details about what I might look like in the book and how to analyse that in the book. This isn't a detailed piece around how to analyse individual Packtype profiles. This is just to give you a feel for how Packtype profile is generated and what it might look like once you've got that profile. So here we go. This is me at my most confident, at my best. Creating new ideas, working on them, making sure I see them through with people involved, through communication, hitting those targets, and doing the right things for the right reasons as an influencer, not a dominating factor within that profile. So that's a quick assessment, a quick way of looking at how the profiles generate. There you have it. That's how quick and simple a Packtypes profile is to create and put on the table. So where will you use it? You'll use it in all kinds of areas. What if you're running a one-to-one and you ask someone to pick their 12 words at their best? They can tell you why they've picked those words, why they feel those words describe themselves at their best. You can also ask them to think about a task or a project coming up, and actually, are those words best suited? Maybe you ask them to pick 2 or 3 words that would increase the suitability for that particular new task or project that's coming up, and then you've got a development pathway that you can work with that individual to say, actually, this is where you are now, this is where you think you need to be successful. Let's look at how we bridge that gap and how we get you there. Because the great thing about those positive words is almost every word in that pack you'll have demonstrated at some point in your career. So you can find a time when you've been a word that maybe sits outside of your standard profile and tap into that confidence. You can also use Packtypes to really support team development and growth. How fantastic it can be when you sit alongside a colleague and you put a profile for that person that you see every day. You put their profile on the table and you explain to them why you've picked those words. And you don't just say, oh, I've picked determined because you're really determined. But you actually say to them, I picked determined because last week when that difficult situation arose and you could have backed down, but you didn't. You stood your ground, you were determined, and you saw it through to the end, even though I know it was uncomfortable for you. I was really impressed with how you've done that, how you've achieved that. What great feedback is that? That's feedback people almost never get from their peers. It sits in the, oh, well, they don't really need to hear it from me. They just know they're good at that. But actually, when you hear it from your peers, it's so much more powerful, such a great feedback mechanism. You can use it for personal growth and development. Give somebody a pack, let them take it away, let them work it with their friends, their family, let them work it with themselves. They can review where they're feeling and where they're at on a given profile. As long as they've got that pack, as long as they've got that ability to profile themselves, they've always got the ability to ask a question and see how they feel about that question and where that development might need to be. You might want to work it through to actually look at an actual team itself. You might amalgamate everyone in the team to see where the team's strength lies. That can then fit into a nice part of a recruitment process where you say, actually, we're all very much in one part of the matrix of the grid. And actually, we could do with somebody who sits outside of the standard pool for this team. So the next time we recruit somebody, we're going to be looking for someone different. Now, different can be scary to people, but actually, if you put it up front, people have been part of that discussion, part of that decision-making process. Guess what? When that different person enters the organisation, that team already knows that someone different's coming in. So it becomes much easier for the team to help that person integrate into the team because they know someone different's coming. They know roughly what to expect from that recruit. And so actually you ease that person into the team. It makes that ability to embed someone in the team quickly much easier to succeed at, much more powerful. There's 101 ways you can use Packtypes. There's a limitation of your imagination. But I promise you, once you look at Packtypes, once you've used Packtypes to put a profile on the table, once you realise the flexibility of Packtypes and its ability to deliver interesting information and start really powerful conversations, you'll stop looking at other profiling tools because Packtypes will pick up everything you need. So believe me, give Packtypes a try. You'll find links to the Packtypes website in the comments and the description of this video. Give it a try, go and have a look. Thank you for your time today and enjoy Packtypes in the future.